Hi, I'm here with Mathew Upchurch, who is Chairman and CEO of Virtuoso, the luxury travel network. And we're here talking with him at the Virtuoso Travel Week. And Mathew, it's been a great week so far, but I wanted to ask you a few things about the state of the travel business right now, and specifically the state of travel agents and travel advisors. Have we turned a corner in terms of the awareness with the public about what travel advisors really deliver and what they do and how they can help travelers?
Well, it's never good enough for me, but I absolutely do think there has been a corner that's been turned. For me, the aha moment came when I coined the phrase when I did the Skiff talk last year, and I talked about travel advisors, the hottest new thing that never went away. If you look at the quantitative data, I mean, there's several research reports out there that actually do show an increasing usage of travel advisors, and of course, the one that everybody's been talking about is the use by millennials.
Yeah, and the surveys are all showing if they're not using them, they would like to. Right?
Yeah, and I also think that the thing that I'm most proud of for this network is that in February of 2001, we made it our mission statement by saying utilize the Virtuoso network to improve the compensation and personal fulfillment of the frontline travel advisor. I had some agencies that are saying, well, wait a minute, you're a consortia. What business is it of yours? What we pay, or you've been spending too much time in granola land, and now you're worried whether they're happy or not, right? But I said, no. Of course, guys, I'm not talking about sending their W-2s. I'm saying that if we don't make this a profession that is attractive to career switchers and young people, that is the single point of failure. And what's really cool is 4 years ago, we actually invited Cornell students here. And after they were here for 4 days, I had a meeting with them, and I said, so what's your takeaway? And I could not have scripted it better. One of the students said, you know what, after being here, I now know the difference between what I thought a travel agent was and what a travel advisor is. And then another one chirped in right afterwards and says, and you know what, I had never thought about this, but what a cool career for my generation. Sure. This year, we actually had students from Ole Miss.
Yeah, I've met a few, yeah.
And it was incredible. There were 6 students from Ole Miss, and like 3 out of the 6 said, well, I'm graduating in a year. I thought I was going to go work for a hotel, but you know what? This is incredible. And I also think it goes to look at how the business has changed from the perspective of, everybody talks about technology wiping people out, right? Well, there's 2 technologies that have completely revitalized our profession: mobility and social media.
Absolutely, and now you can sell travel from wherever you are in the world, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have one of our members from Atlanta. She posted a photo on Facebook that I said, well, this is the ultimate recruitment tool. It was she and one of her top people in her agency sitting in an infinity pool in Africa with a savanna in the background, elephants, and they're sitting there on their laptops, servicing their clients.
Yeah, it's a great office. It's the new cubicle, right?
It's amazing. So now, having said that, of course, every time that people say, oh, I'd like to be a travel advisor because I love to travel, I always say, look, so do a lot of people. Do you love to take care of people? Do you love to, do you have a service heart and a service ethos?
Now, given that, there are some challenges still. And what, in your view, are kind of the challenges to the travel advisory profession today?
Well, I think one of the challenges is definitely what I call collateral damage issues, where the partners may be engaged in a pretty rough and tumble battle with, let's say, OTAs or whatever, the whole direct booking thing, and then we kind of we get stuck in the middle of that, or loyalty programs, things that make total sense, but that somehow, aren't thought of. Now,
well, you mean in the case of where they're going to make direct offers that are better than you travel advisors can sell too?
Well,
right?
It happens all the time. I mean, we had a Virtuoso meeting at a Virtuoso property, and hundreds of Virtuoso advisors attended, and we're all getting emails like every week, book here, join our loyalty, do this, whatever. But that's a simple fix because we're not. That's when people go, oh my God, I've always been of the mind that I don't care. In fact, I started this in 1991 with adventure travel companies. When we started what is now the VAST program, Virtuoso Active Specialty Program, most of the companies that are part of that, 90%, 80% of all their business was direct. And I remember when we started bringing them on, and people were saying, well, why are you bringing anti-travel agent companies in? I'm saying, guys, if these very specialized companies had relied on travel agents, they wouldn't be in business. We don't care whether or not they do direct business. We care as to whether they are willing to be really good multi-channel partners.
Sure.
You know, there was a great McKinsey white paper written. In fact, the authors spoke at one of our symposiums a few years ago that talked about the trouble with travel distribution. And one of the issues that I really urge suppliers to constantly drive through their technology and digital strategy people is that build systems that allow you to do what you want direct, but that have predisposed in them the idea of multi-channel and allows value-added channels to do what they're best and integrate with you. So it doesn't matter as long as it just says or contact your travel professional. We're secure in our customers. Just don't do something that makes us look like we're incompetent, you know, or don't know what's going on.
Now, one of the things is that the definition of a travel agency is changing, and you have that example of some of your members. You have a wide variety of models and everything else. And what is happening to the travel agency model today?
Well, I mean, and you know, when I think about how we started, you know, we started with a lot of carriage trade agents back in the 80s, and then I remember when we started bringing on the cruise only or certainly cruise focused agencies, and there was kind of, well, who are them? And then we brought in, you know, big corporate agencies that did, and then we had host agencies, and you know, if you look at it, there are all these different models. And as we shared, you know, we actually feel that diversity has been good with us. However, we do have some non-negotiables. The non-negotiable is the advisor must be available on every transaction. Now, we have members where perhaps they have some sort of a online booking system or something like that. Okay. It doesn't mean that every transaction, but the advisor must be available. And you know, when there was a recent article that was written about OTA satisfaction, I actually think came up with my best line ever, which was, and it's not about being good or bad, it's just about being different. So you've got one business model that where the entire intent is to have as few people call you as possible. Right. Right? Ours is like, we want everybody to call us, right?
Or be in contact in some way.
Or be in contact. Yeah. So the reality is that, you know, all these different models, what we care about is who is out there that is driving experiential travel, taking care of the client, being proactive. And if we do that and we aggregate, you know, those players into, and then we learn from each other. Sure. Because the other thing about this network, and what I'm very proud of is, I mean, here, at Virtuoso Travel Week, you know, for decades now, it's absolutely amazing to watch Virtuoso members get up and teach other Virtuoso members about their mentoring programs. Sure. There was one of the classes here was, you know, how to help, when is it time to hire an assistant, right, for an advisor. So there's all these Virtuoso members that have given so much and freely because it's that old adage of, you know, scarcity versus abundance. If you think about it, there's so much business out there. If you look at the macro realities of travel over the next 10 to 15 years, travel is outpacing GDP. There's a lot of, and still there's a lot of room for a lot of new business.
Well, Mathew, it's always a pleasure. Once again, a great Virtuoso Travel Week. I've enjoyed it, as always. A lot of great contacts, and the insight into the changing of the profession is always fabulous here. So thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm James Schillinglaw for Insider Travel Videos.